This is Charlie. Half of his breakfast always ends up on the floor. And he leaves fur everywhere. That's why I grabbed the Bissell Power Clean Fur Finder. It's cordless, powerful, and actually finds fur you don't even see. Learn more at Bissell.com.
So when we talk about this concept of consideration, there's one way to recognize how a person considers you in their life. Stay tuned. Guys, what's going on? Welcome to the Bird Brain Podcast, where the goal is to rise above it all, stay elevated, create that infinity up your you. I'm your host, Isaiah. Happy December. Happy end of the year. Guys, are we doing a sprint or are we jogging towards the finish line? What's the deal? How are you feeling? How are you doing? I think I am I'm running my race. I've been keeping a pretty awesome pace. I think if I was looking at this as a marathon, I want you to take a look. If this year was a race for you, how did you run? Okay, do you feel like you were in good condition? Do you feel like you were out of breath as soon as you started, right? Did you plan accordingly? Okay, and what's the finish line looking like for you? I think in the middle of the year, I was definitely sprinting, right? I found myself kind of picking up speed and a necessity to. And then I finally found my footing, funny enough, towards the end of the year. And I'm coasting. I'm chill. This has been such a year in terms of a marathon. And so much unexpectedly has taken place. And a lot of it has been beautiful. If I'm being honest with you, a lot of it has been amazing. I am in such a good place in my spirit as this year ends. And I'm grateful. And I mentioned planning. And that's what today's episode is going to be about. Something that I was paying attention to, or something that we often talk about when it comes to consideration. Like, what does it mean to consider other people? What does that mean? A lot of times people don't know. You ask them to consider you, and they think it's like this grandiose gesture, but a lot of times consideration is in the small moments. Consideration is a language. Consideration is a form of communication because you're telling other people what you think of them, not just when it is consequences tied to it, but just in your day-to-day. Okay? And I know when it comes to dating, for example, and love bombing, one of the things that happens a lot of times is you are getting to know somebody and they are already planning your entire future, right? We're going to get married. We're going to do these things. Very lavish thinking, right? Very extremes. And it sounds nice. And sometimes you feel like, oh, this person is looking to do life with me. And then next thing you know, 2 weeks later, you don't hear from them. Or the conversation gets weird. And it's just like, wait, I thought we were cool. What am I missing? Right? A minute ago, you said you wanted to do all these things together. And now I don't hear from you at all. Like, what actually has taken place? That's love bombing. Okay? Where it's these lavish ideas that have no room to actually become potential. Or the other person is already fast forwarding the entire relationship. For the moment, right? There's this momentary high that they might be experiencing. Okay. That's in relationships, but I think in general, it's really cool to just see how a person considers you. And the other day, my buddy sent me a message, and it was just something that they were planning, or they were thinking about. It was like, oh, this would be a cool concept, something to just have. And it stopped me. It stopped me in my tracks because it was like, oh, this person is considering me, right? This person is not considering me on the thing of like what makes this person, what will make Isaiah like me, right? What will make Isaiah think I'm a good person, but just simply like, oh, this is something that I think would be cool to have later in life. Does this make sense? A lot of times when a person is considering you, it's outside of convenience of themselves. And that's a way to notice the difference. If you're ever in connection with somebody and you listen to what they talk about, just in regular conversation, or people you are currently in relationship with, friends, family members, who are they considering? Who do they consider in their future plans? Right? Are you ever in the conversation in terms of their future plans? It could be anything. Like, hey, I would love for us to go on a vacation together. A vacation is very easy to set up, in theory, right? It's like, all right, cool, we budget, we do the thing, and then we will be on vacation. Let's plan it out. How does this person plan with me in mind?
I am so excited for the spa day. Candles lit, music on, hot tub warm and ready. And then my chronic hives come back. Again, in the middle of my spa day. What a wet blanket. Looks like another spell of itchy red skin. If you have chronic spontaneous urticaria or CSU, there is a different treatment option. Hives during my next spa day? Not if I can help it. Learn more at treatmyhives.com.
There was somebody I was having a conversation with, or I've had conversations with multiple times, and I realized throughout the duration, I was like, oh, I plan with this person in mind. Like there's a plan there. There's something that's happening. Right? I'm already planning certain things out. And I'm a bit of a planner, if I'm being honest with you. I have to be, right? When it comes to my clients, they're in different time zones, different parts of the world. I have to plan. So I'm always doing math. I'm always checking the time. I'm always looking at where I'll be. Okay, I'm making sure that nothing overlaps. I am always planning. And even even in minor excursions, like things I'm just doing in my day-to-day, I am always kind of planning. So even when it comes to my relationships, my interpersonal relationships, I think long-term, right? I plan for the future with these people in mind and not just a romantic partner. See, I think a lot of times when people think about planning, it's only in a romantic partnership. And very often we don't make plans for the future with our friends. And I posted a video about that a couple of weeks and people were up in arms because it was like, how often do you say to a person, hey, as life gets busier and as we grow, how do we make sure we're growing with each other? Because I don't have a separate life outside of my friendship. And what I mean by that is the same way we say, oh, everybody has a separate life. It's like, yeah, but the people that you want in your life are a part of your life, are they not? Like, how does that make sense otherwise? So when it comes to friendship, it's like, if I want you a part of my life, how am I planning with you in it? What kind of plans am I making? Even next week, hey, let's get dinner. Are you available to get dinner? Hey, let's make a tradition. Let's do something that'll be cool to keep us in a rhythm. I would actually really appreciate that. Hey, let's build out some traditions, right? How often do you plan with other people in mind? And that's something I think we're missing as a society is like we don't really make plans with our friends that go beyond, getting drinks and, doing this thing. But how are you planning with them in mind? Do you have a vacation budget? Right? Hey, especially if my friend lives across the country or somewhere else. All right, can I put a budget aside to make sure like I can buy a flight to go see them, or they could come out here, or is there somewhere that we meet in the middle? Like, how am I planning to have this person in my life? And if you're paying close attention, you will hear sometimes the intentions that people have when it comes to you and their relationship. Sometimes you won't hear anything at all, where you could talk to a person every single day and you listen to them plan out their future and never once do they mention you. Right? There might be an ideal moment where it's like, oh yeah, you have this big party or this, but it's like, in reality, do they plan for you? Do they make plans with you being a part of it? Consideration is such this delicate thing because I promise you, it will tell you so much. It will tell you so much. And I was like, man, how do I consider the people in my life? Am I being considerate of them? Because consideration also thinks about, how will my actions make this person feel? How do my actions take care of them? Okay. What will my behavior communicate to them what I think of them? Do I care to even consider that at all? A lot of times people don't. A lot of times you will find that people are not really thinking of others, especially when it comes to their friends, outside of what's convenient for them in that moment. And it will show, it will eventually catch up. And pay attention to your relationships. Like, when you're in connection with people, when you're in communication, what are you guys talking about? What is a common conversation? Or what is the consistent conversation? Are you guys talking about future plans just in life and what your goals are? Or are you talking also about how, hey, I plan to have you in my life in some way, shape, or form intentionally later? And what are you doing in this present moment to make that a possibility? Or is it just talk? There is so much you will learn by how a person considers you. There is so much you will learn. When I was on set, I remember when I was on a movie set. And this is something that I always did too, is like, whenever you are on set, especially if it's a low budget kind of film, one thing to consider most is to make sure that everybody there is being fed. If you cannot pay people, you feed them. And you feed them well. Because you're working 10-hour days, okay? You're not in a union, you're kind of doing free labor. And the least you can do is make sure these people eat. Because think about how long you have to spend behind a camera under a hot light. You're manning a bunch of heavy machinery, expensive equipment. You're running back and forth. You're trying to make sure everything is cool. That is a lot of energy. And to not make sure a person is fed. And you will notice so much in the people who are considered. They will feel loved. They'll feel safe. Okay? And they'll move that way. And sometimes all you need is one person to genuinely consider you. All you need is one. Because they will be a point of reference to the fact that, hey, it is not difficult. It's just that some people don't do it. Pay attention to how people plan their future with you in it. Pay attention to how you plan and who you plan to have in your future. Because sometimes we'll make room for a partner we haven't even met yet. We're already planning that out. But when it comes to the people who are currently there, we don't always have room. So, just something to think about. Okay? And really consider and really observe, not just in yourself, but also in other people. Consideration is a language. And a lot of times people can tell when they are being considered or not. Okay? I hope you guys enjoy your marathon. I hope you're running your race, taking breaths, doing what you got to do. In the meantime, I started something pretty cool on YouTube. If you're not subscribing or following, 31 days, I'll be posting one new video a day on YouTube until the end of the year. So if you're not up to date, go follow and catch up. Okay? But there will be something to learn from every single video. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. and take inventory of who you consider and how you consider them and how they consider you. Take flight.